Hi there, so welcome to this Crazy Taxi video. I've tried to dress like some of the characters, and we're going to be comparing the original Crazy Taxi for the PC with Crazy Taxi 3. So I'm going to load both of the programs up at once. The original Crazy Taxi is going to run on this netbook, but Crazy Taxi 3 is a bit more demanding, so it's running on this desktop down here, and we'll run that on the main screen. And I'll have to use the controller for the Crazy Taxi 3 and a keyboard for the Crazy Taxi 1. So here we have the menu screen on both versions of Crazy Taxi. Crazy Taxi 1 on the left and Crazy Taxi 3 on the right. So we can see on Crazy Taxi we have a choice of two maps, Arcade or Original. And on here, on Crazy Taxi 3, we have West Coast, Glitter Oasis or Small Apple. Now in this case, West Coast is actually the same as Arcade and Glitter Oasis is the same as Original, but there is this third map called Small Apple which you can look at in one of my other videos. I haven't really played Glitter Oasis or Small Apple, so I'm going to concentrate on the differences there are in West Coast. The other things we can see on Crazy Taxi, well, there's Crazy Box and Crazy X are both mini games, they're both much similar. And what else is there to say? Oh yes, and Crazy Taxi 3 adds a sort of replay option where you can record and play back videos of your driving. So if we go into the menus, they're much the same for both of them. For the arcade, I can remember which buttons to press on. I don't usually use the keyboard anymore. So on both versions you have a top option which is play by arcade rules or play by normal rules, which is the same thing, where you gain time by delivering customers early, and then you run out of time eventually and the game ends. And then both options you also have options for working for 3, 5 or 10 minutes, which is useful for just getting familiar with the maps. So I'm going to use work for 10 minutes, and because then I can go around the map and show you things without worrying about customers. And in both cases we then have a choice of drivers, if this one works, and I think we'll find they're the same in each case. So we have Axel, Beady Joe, Gina and Gus, and Axel, Beady Joe, Gina and Gus. Once you've unlocked various things in the mini games, you have a choice of extra drivers from the other maps which you can access on any game, and there's also shortcuts for there's also hidden options for using things like bikes as well. So I'm just going to drive around to the bit of the map where I know there are some differences. I'll also show you the main difference in the gameplay is something called the crazy, I can't remember if they call it crazy jump or crazy hop. But in the Crazy Taxi 1 over here, if you want to do a jump, you have to find something to jump over, like one of the lorries, which, like that one, if you drop it, you can do a jump. Whereas on the Crazy Taxi 3, which is very difficult to drive when you're holding a phone and trying to remember which the jump button is, but there's a button you press and it does a jump, so that massively increases the potential for doing funny stunts and things, and also accessing extra bits of the map. And they've specifically redrawn the map in Crazy Taxi 3. In fact, I think it was Crazy Taxi 2 which introduced the jump, where they probably did. So the first map difference is a extra seaside road which goes all the way round. If we look at the map here, so we're somewhere around here at the moment, and there's a seaside road which goes all the way around the outside on the new map, which isn't on the old map. So we can see on the old map approximately the same position on both, and we can see on the old map it's blocked off, but on the new map it's completely open to the right. So if I drive on this right hand one, oops, if I can get it in forwards gear, so it's difficult driving when you're on the phone. shown as in real life. We can drive all the way around the outside here, which we couldn't access on the old version of Crazy Taxi. And this will take you all the way around the outside of the towny bit, and there are various ways back through. You can see little gaps and you can get back through onto the main road, but this eventually will come back in just before the heliport, which I'll show you on the map when I finish driving it. So here, by the church in fact. So if we do the same thing on the other map before it runs out of time, oh my goodness, it's in the wrong gear. So there's no road through there, so we have to go all through the town way. To get round on the old map, you had to go through this square park area and round there, past KFC and come out by the church. But now you can go all the way around the outside, which is probably longer way round, but it hasn't got any traffic at all, so that might be an advantage. Now the next bit I'm going to show you is, there's an interesting shortcut to show you at the RB station, which is available on both maps. So I'll show you that, and I'll probably change to Gina at some point because she's better for doing, she's got a faster car. So the bit I want to show you around here with the dual carriageways, where we need to do some big jumps on Crazy Taxi 3, be easier if we're in Gina's car. So the classic shortcut that can gain you time, which is available on both maps, and everyone knows about this shortcut I think, who's ever played Crazy Taxi, is if you pick up someone near the church somewhere in the town and want to take them to the baseball stadium, instead of going all round this big loop here via the RB station, which is in front of us, you can, if you turn hard left, you can come off the edge of the road and drop down into a car park area, which, if I can drive half-handed, I'll show you now. So we come off here and we fall down there into the car park, and then we come down there. Right, I've now got the phone on a tripod, so it's a lot easier to drive. So I can show you jumping off that thing again to do the shortcut down to the baseball stadium here, and then we can show you the shortcut to Piot's Park, the new bit. So we can jump over here and then just keep fully to the left as you can, and then jump over that wall and you get to this Piot's Park, which is the new. Just to show you that on this old Crazy Taxi, that Piot's Park doesn't exist at all. So there's that pavilion that I jumped over, and there's the grassy bit where I went through, which you can't get to on this map, and there's nothing there at all. And now there's that great big sort of funfair thing. And also, for something I'm going to show you later, there's no openings on the other side of the road either, just past the baseball stadium. That's all blocked off. So when you're in this new Piot's Park area, another thing you can do is you can jump out of it up this end. Another thing to show you is the Crazy Dash. On the old one, it was quite difficult to do a Crazy Dash, which makes you go faster. On this one, you do the same thing. You do forward gear and then accelerate very close to each other in timing. But now you get these flames, so you actually know you're actually doing a Crazy Dash. Now in this funny area I've got to from Piot's Park, we've got this funny sewer you can drive along as well. Like underground sewer. And then it comes out here, and if you jump out of it, you end up in a bit. Oh, here we are. We're up there. Good. So now you're on there. You can, oh dear, I've done that wrong. So we've dropped off into another bit. Now this is quite interesting because if you go up this way, I'm not doing very well on my jumping today. So we're now on another bit of unbuilt road, which is fenced off at this end. Can't get through there, as is the other one, I think, on the other side, the other dual carriageway, that side. I think if you look across you'll see that's also blocked off. There, it's blocked off, you can see there, it's grilled off. We jump off here somewhere, we end up in this big grassy area here, which will come out by the baseball stadium through a little narrow gap here that they've now opened up in the map, which we saw wasn't there in Crazy Taxi 1. This gap here by the base, where I was showing you where there wasn't Piot's Park, there's also wasn't that gap, which I'm trying to show you. That gap here is new. One of the advantages of the replay option is you can start at different points on the map. So that's it, done it. Right, so now you end up in this disused bit of road, or new bit of road, that goes down this funny yellow tunnel. And comes out in a weird underground car park where you can only turn right to get out. And then that goes up these ramps and comes out near the mall, which is around the corner, which I'll show on the map in a second. There's the mall. So if we look at where that came out, it's just back from the mall towards the middle of the town on the right hand side. There is where it comes out. And I'll just show you that that doesn't exist on the Crazy Taxi 1. Okay, so I've stopped in a very similar place on both Crazy Taxi 1 and 2, and you can see here you've got this bit that's barriered off in front of me, but here you've got the open way down to that funny underground route. So now I'll just show you a few interesting bits that are available on both maps. Firstly, in the city there's this ramp in both cities. So you could always go up there even on the old one. And you can jump also across this building and there's a person up on that roof. Another fun thing you can do on both maps is you can drive into the sea wherever near the beginning there's a bit of sea by that town, and also around this side as well. And you sometimes find passengers down here, there's some there. But it won't let you drive too far because it's got walls around that stop you. And then the other thing to show you is the multi-storey car park. And again, this is something that was in the old one, Crazy Taxi 1, as well as Crazy Taxi 3, in that you can drive up here into the multi-storey car park, and then you can come out of that side of it, and there's sometimes a person up on that veranda I just drove over. So just looking at the map here and going around it in order, so that's where you generally start if you do a conventional game. It's near the university where that red dot is. Then this cable car bit is quite good for doing jumps on. This down here has all got bits you can drive into the sea. And as I said, on the new one you've then got a sort of seaside promenade all the way around there you can drive round. Coming out there somewhere. We have on the new one, we can always jump across there on both maps and cut off that loop by the RB station. The new one, we have Piot's Park here with the sewer that runs down there somewhere, and also an opening by the baseball stadium that takes you down that side of that bit. And we've also got these half-built dual carriageway things around here, and we've got the tunnel you can jump into, and that basically brings you out near where it says here Mal West, although I've seen when I've been playing games that the Mal North and West seem to be sometimes round the wrong way when it tells you where your destination is. And I did try and map where these extra bits of road went, but it was a bit of a mess, to be honest. In the town somewhere you've got the bit where you can jump on the roof. The multi-storey car park is there on that map. There's also a couple of little weird little shortcuts in the town. There's one there which I didn't show you, and there's one by KFC. And here's the other bit where I drove in the sea over there. So if you know of any extra bits of road that I haven't talked about and funny shortcuts and things on the map that's called either Arcade in the Crazy Taxi or West Coast in Crazy Taxi 3, then I'd be quite interested in hearing about them in the comments. Thanks very much.